Hello, PR Maven Nation. Today's episode, number 103, is 10 tips for how your small business can market itself during COVID-19, embracing adaptability, empathy, and action. On Friday, March 13th, 2020, ironically, it was Friday the 13th, when businesses, schools, and institutions started to shut down because of the threat of the coronavirus. Thankfully, the federal government stepped in with SBA loans and grant programs to help small businesses stay alive. Then, amidst the quarantining and stay-at-home orders, social injustice and the Black Lives Matter movement emerged after the death of George Floyd. Businesses did start opening up again amidst all this turmoil in the economy and the start of a recession, and the Payroll Protection Act money was running out. So my team and I put our heads together and put together these 10 tips that we hope will help you in marketing your small business. The first tip is strengthen your tribe. We believe that every brand should have a tribe of raving fans. And we think that right now is the best time to reach out and communicate, actually perhaps even over-communicate with your network of employees, customers, fans, and followers. If your policies have changed during COVID, for example, if you're open but only to a limited number of people, or if you're requiring masks, which I believe are being mandated at the federal level now. Now is the best time to communicate through your email list or your social media to keep your targeted audience posted on your policies and what and how you're doing during COVID. Over-communicating is better than under-communicating at this moment in time. And also, if you are open for people to come into your premises in person and you're both wearing masks, it's really important to try to have eye contact with people so that they can see in your eyes that you care about them. Right now, people are feeling somewhat lonely, anxious, fearful, and in some cases actually desperate. So having eye contact is more important than ever before. My second tip is to embrace technology. Can you imagine if we had experienced COVID-19 before the World Wide Web, and if we only had like the postal mail and telephone to keep in touch? Now that we have social media and email, we are so much more blessed than ever before. I recommend that you create a content calendar so that you can plan ahead how you're going to communicate with your followers through social media and through email newsletters. Of course, now is the best time to plan webinars, Zoom chats, and podcasts just like this one to strengthen your relationships and stay top of mind. People's habits are changing tremendously because they're spending more time in isolation. They may be developing loyalties to businesses like Amazon.com, for example, or other online businesses. And if you are a local business, you need to be sure to be providing tips and helpful advice and just messages, again, of caring, compassion, and helpfulness to your people. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are becoming more important than ever. So now is the time to learn about how you can apply those techniques in your business. My third tip is to find ways to touch your customers without actually touching them. There's a concept called brand touch. And basically what brand touch is how customers feel about your business. For example, if you think of a strong brand like Harley Davidson, how does that make you feel? If you're part of their tribe, you might think that Harley represents the freedom of the road and escapism and getting away from it all. Or what about a business like Disney, for example? Disney Plus has adapted during this time of COVID. They've launched the Broadway show Hamilton on Disney Plus. So Disney, of course, resonates with its fans and followers in a very positive and strong way. So now is the time to really think about how your customers feel about your brand. Customers are going to want more than ever to feel appreciated. If they actually can put their hands on your merchandise, you've got to have a way to actually disinfect afterwards. But think about the experience of people entering your establishment if they are actually able to enter now. And again, have eye contact with them and try to put a smile in your eyes if you have a mask over your face. How you make people feel in their hearts and what they think in their minds is the essence of your brand touch. And you want people to think strongly about you and to feel loyal and trusting towards you. So that's what I call a brand touch. My fourth tip is to make it easy for your clients and customers to find you. The importance of search engine optimization has actually never been more critical than it is now. People need to be able to find you if they Google search you. And actually, if they're going to be exchanging money, you should be looking for ways to accept money without passing cash, because of course, cash can hold the coronavirus on it, on the surface. So you want to be sure that you are up to speed with accepting credit cards or things like Zelle and Venmo. You need to make sure to have a strong online presence and, if possible, e-commerce, so that people can do business with you remotely. And the way to be findable online is to have an up-to-date website with good copy that includes keywords, and also to have a presence on other websites as well. So you might want to be in the local media, have articles in the newspaper, on television or radio, and have a strong presence. So when someone Googles your business name or what you do, they can find you online. My fifth tip is to update your marketing plan. Any marketing plan that was developed pre-COVID is probably not relevant anymore. So you need to redefine your growth plans. Your growth for the year 2020 may have slowed down a bit. Hopefully you've been able to stay in business, but again, you could use these 10 tips to restructure your marketing plan, to strengthen your existing customer base, and to try to find more lookalikes or people that look like your current customers that will become your future customers. You may want to reallocate your investments and focus more on your digital presence because, again, more people than ever are logging on from home or from their mobile devices to find products and services. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back in just a moment with 5 more tips on how to market your small business during COVID-19, embracing adaptability, empathy, and action.
Do you want to grow your client or customer base? Perhaps increase brand awareness? Maybe tell your unique story more effectively? Of course you do. But you may be worried that you don't have enough expertise to make that happen. Well, no worries, PR Maven Nation. Let the PR Maven herself, Nancy Marshall, show you how easy it is to get your message across effectively using a powerful yet simple tool, a message map. Nancy's training is often called informative and constructive, well-designed and impactful, with a perfect blend of theory and real-life experience. You will leverage Nancy's expertise to create your own message map when you register for this comprehensive online video training course, which is broken down into 4 easy-to-understand modules. Normally, this course is priced at $147, but for listeners of the PR Maven podcast, that's you, PR Maven Nation, it's only $29 when you enter the code word podcast during enrollment. It even includes a workbook and bonus content to guide you through the process. So go to prmaven.com and click on the Message Map Mastery course to enroll today. Remember, enter the word podcast during enrollment for a special discounted price of $29.
Welcome back to the PR Maven podcast, episode number 103, 10 Tips How Your Small Business Can Market Itself During COVID-19, Embracing Adaptability, Empathy, and Action. I'm on to number 6 now, which is to infuse empathy into your marketing communications. Now is the time to show you care about your people. More people than ever are experiencing distress, anxiety, fear, and having what we call adjustment disorder, which is actually difficulty in adjusting to the new realities of working from home or quarantining or social distancing, which for many people, including myself, is extremely difficult. So we need to understand that every single person we deal with is actually dealing with something. They might have a loved one who is sick in the hospital or who has passed, or they might be fearful that they themselves are going to be contracting COVID. So as a business, we need to be thinking how we can help not only our own customers, but our community as well. I hope that these tips are going to help the business community to reconfigure their marketing plans to be more appropriate for the times that we're in right now. And number 7 is to make sure your website is up to date and all of your social media postings are current and perhaps not offensive. First of all, to be up to date, you should make sure that your phone number is readily available if you have a phone that you answer for people calling in. Make sure your hours are correct. And any changes, any policy changes because of COVID can be easily found on your homepage. Also, because of the Black Lives Matter movement, you might want to make sure that your website is showing people of color involved with your business in some way. And you want to make sure that you're not offending any particular group or race because we're all in this together. Make sure your content is all politically correct. It might be a good idea to have someone outside your organization read through all the content on your website to make sure that it is politically correct and that it is up to date. It's more important than ever now to show that you care about equality and justice for all. Number 8 is to not only do you have to abide by all the rules and processes for safety, but you need to tell people about it. So make sure you have signage and talking points to communicate with clients and customers in your physical location or on your website and your social media. Ask some of your customers to give you feedback on whether or not you are communicating adequately. People love to give feedback, so if you ask them, that's going to show that you care about them and you honor their opinion and that they are an important part of your tribe. Again, it's really important to show, especially your best customers, that they are really important to you. Now, during COVID-19, people are going to want to get outside in nature and get away from it all. They have binged for months on Netflix and YouTube and other online platforms, and they really want to get out and unplug from technology. So think about how your business can facilitate that. It's kind of funny as I say this out loud because I just told you that you need to be sure to have your website and your social media all up to date and politically correct. But you also need to allow for people to just unplug, and that includes yourself. I know that I tend to be online from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. So I'm saying that as much for myself as I am for you as PR Maven Nation. My last tip is that there is a new sense that life is short and life is precious. We all have a collective sense of urgency. So make sure that you provide personalized service. Use people's names. Just the sound of a person's name really is the sweetest sound in any language. So if you're speaking with someone either on the phone or in person, use their name and say thank you. Also, make sure you're carefully targeting your audiences. So make sure that you know who your targeted audiences are and that your language in your marketing materials and in person is targeting them appropriately. So those are my top 10 tips. I hope that you appreciate this advice. And actually, we're going to be coming out with an online course about these 10 tips and an ebook. So stay tuned on the PR Maven Nation Facebook page for more information about our online course with 10 tips for how your small business can market during COVID-19. Thanks for joining me. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and I truly appreciate that you are part of PR Maven Nation. Have a great day, PR Maven Nation. That's it for this week's episode. I'd like to thank you for listening, and if you feel that you've gotten value out of today's conversation, consider leaving a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever app you're using to tune in. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should do so. I release a new episode each week, and subscribing will make sure you get an alert when there's a new episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation by going to prmaven.com/nation and clicking join. It's free, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you have an Alexa-enabled device, be sure to add the PR Maven Marketing Minute to your daily flash briefing menu. Thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.